So I agree with this part. Um, but there's a jump here that really annoyed me and annoyed a lot of people. Where he says it's pointless to try to analyze what they could have done differently, where did they miss the mark, et cetera, et cetera. It's basically like trying to suggest how you should change which lottery numbers you pick next time. So the jump here is from saying that investors, the people who invest in video games, don't know how to predict it, to saying that no one knows how to predict it, or that it's impossible to for anyone to learn how to predict it. Like, okay, so there's a difference between predicting like right before the game comes out, which is what a lot of these people in the comments probably are thinking about. They're thinking like, oh, I knew High Guard was gonna flop right before it came out, but like there's a difference between that and like, pre-alpha footage and pitches and all of that. It's obviously much harder to predict from that. But I still feel like I could do much better than lottery ticket numbers if you put me in charge. I think a lot of people who think seriously about games and play games a lot and are in the audience for this type of game could understand these things. Although, if you're in the audience, there's a risk that you are thinking too much about just your own perspective. Like maybe you're just thinking about the esports angle and not thinking about the casual angle or whatever. You have to appeal to a lot of different audiences with a game like this for it to really take off. But I think I can do that pretty well, but at least way better than lottery numbers. And this is kind of just an interesting thing in general. Like, why why aren't investors trying to hire me? No, like not me, but like why aren't these companies trying to hire people who like know more about games? Is there just no cross communication between these two worlds? Like it feels like there's no communication between these two worlds, and there should be. I guess now there's like poly market and stuff. Like maybe there's people predicting these things. Does someone know like was there like a poly market for like is Highguard gonna flop from the minute it was announced or something like that? Then maybe they could scout for people to hire from who's predicting this stuff correctly on poly market and betting a lot of money. But I guess the main problem is like people who have money nowadays do not have good taste, right? Like you see like Sam Altman, right? Like you see these videos of Sam Altman in his kitchen like cooking something for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they're like posting that, but like their kitchen's really ugly. Like their kitchen's really ugly. Seemingly their life is not, they just don't know very much about aesthetics in general. Like Elon Musk talking about video games, right? Like, and Elon Musk talking about pop culture in general. Like these people have very lowest common denominator kinds of taste in like every way. That's maybe the problem, maybe part of the problem, or at least related to the problem. Like the people who are in a position to bet on a game, to fund games in general, like mostly do not are not good at choosing what games to fund, even when they're going for like the mass market thing, right? Like obviously I would like for rich people to have good taste so that they can fund like 868 that, so they can give Michael Bro money and give Sylvie money and all this stuff. Like but but even when they're going for mass appeal, like they seem, I kind of agree with this perspective where it seems like they don't really know what to bet on. But of course, it's I'm speaking as a complete outsider. I haven't been in these business meetings. Like, take all of this with a huge grain of salt, because like I guess it's likely that there's also just not enough good games to bet on. A lot of these people who are deciding to spend all this money on something like High Guard, like they just haven't met the people who have pitched the better version of that to them. So they're like, well, I might as well fund something. The other thing I wanted to briefly talk about is for some reason we got like a million of these streamers top 10 games of all time this week. Like, I don't know, I guess it was just one of these trends, like when they listed 100 women. Most of these streamer lists are just so bad. I mean, they are what they are. There must just be something about big streamers that, like, if you have the personality traits to be a successful big streamer, that's somehow contradictory to the personality traits that make you really deeply understand games, because these are just all like, I mean, again, quesos are better than the average, but like the most of these lists are lists of 10 normie slop games. I'm sorry. But this one's actually interesting. I love the NFL Street one. Back to the billionaire and aesthetics comment, kind of. I do think there's something about how to be successful financially these days, at least for the vast majority of people, you have to like hyper specialize in some way, right? At least recent times, right? Recent times, the times that have created the current class of wealthy people, like those times did not reward a what I would think of as a more healthy, well-rounded generalist Renaissance man type of person, I think. And so that naturally creates like what I'm talking about. Of course they have like normal, predictable, boring taste because they just don't have the general like taste is just it's more complicated than this, but you could say that taste is intelligence plus experience, right? You have a wide range of experiences and you think critically about them and form opinions. Like that's basically what taste is. And the people who really made it big these days, seemingly they just had to go all in and work 12-hour days all the time. And they just didn't have time to play The Witness, right? Like you have to sit down and give that game time and attention. Syncopause, like you have to give that game time like on a regular basis for like there's just no shot. Like even to research and figure out that these games are interesting, like these people aren't going to do that. And that even seemingly applies to gaming to like big gaming streamers. But that said, the Queso one is a pretty good list for that kind of person, right? Because NFL Street One, I think these kind of arcade sports games are super underrated. I mean, some of them people look back on really fondly, like SSX Tricky. Like everyone loves SSX Tricky. Everyone around my age at least loves SSX Tricky. At least some people remember how good like Mario Strikers was, and even going back to like NBA Jam and stuff like that. Yeah, NFL Blitz 2000, I think. NBA Street, like Mario Strikers on GameCube, I think was really really good. Yeah. Most developers are not deep in the canon. That's true. I wasn't really thinking about that, but like it's just really hard. I mean, games are just such a deep domain, right? There's so many different angles that you can think about games and keep understanding them more deeply, right? And yeah, if you're going to sit down and put in the hard work and the hours to make a serious game, even just one, or like even just one like pretty big passion project type of game, like it's hard to I'm certain it's hard to find the time to play all the stuff that you should really ideally be playing to like to develop your taste and things, inform your design. So yeah, it's just tough. There's just no time in the world. Yeah, I'm not trying to like judge anyone here. I don't know if it's coming across that way, but like even people like this, like I'm not judging them. Like that's just how the world works. Anyway, yeah, NFL Street pretty interesting pick. Like Resident Evil 5 pretty pretty interesting pick. Like MGS2 even, pretty interesting pick. Jak 3 obviously an interesting pick. I am really fond of Jak 3. I haven't touched it since I was like 10 or whatever, whenever it came out, but like I thought there was something to that game at the time that like Jak 1 and 2 didn't have. Jak and Daxter the original was kind of the bulletproof, like this is the quote unquote better game, or like the best game in the trilogy, right? It's just a straightforward like collectathon platformer. It does what it does really well. You can't argue with it, but like Jak 3 had a certain soul to it, I think. Wait, I somehow breezed right past Resident Evil 9. That game came out like a week ago, man. This did he have an early copy, or I mean, this was posted March 1st. When did Resident Evil 9 come out? February 27th. I mean, I guess he had time to play through it all if he was just streaming it every day. That's I mean, you have to respect this list. To be honest, I'm coming around on this list and I wish I'd pulled up a better bad example. Um, but yeah, you get my point.